The biggest surprise of the NFL Draft Day 1 is that Michael Penix went to the Atlanta Falcons at 8. There is a statement from Kirk Cousins' agent, Mike McCartney, who said, quote, "It was a big surprise. We had no idea this was coming. The truth is the whole league had no idea this was coming. We got no heads up. Kirk got a call from the Falcons when they were on the clock. That was the first we heard. It never came up in any conversation." He added, "There are 250,000 fans in Detroit tonight, and I got 250,000 texts tonight." Kirk Cousins was on my podcast with Shaq, and he couldn't wait to start his career with Atlanta. He wanted to bring them a championship. I'm not saying that it was a bad pick. I'm not saying that at all, because I think we all believe that Penix is a hell of a quarterback, and that combination could be great. But it was a huge surprise, and now that you've had some time to digest it, what do you think about the fact that they did that after giving Kirk Cousins a $180 million contract?
Yeah, I'm truly shocked, and you say that. I guess they believe Kirk. I don't think Kirk ever really been terrible in the NFL. He's always kind of been a winner, but he might not be the guy that takes him into a deep run. And I think you kind of have this Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love situation where you don't know if this quarterback's going to be your next quarterback. You might not want to pay him when Kirk hits that age. He might be falling off. And, yeah, I think Kirk's first 3 years are guaranteed, but if Kirk falls off somewhere in that second or third year, you got a great quarterback that might be able to step in and change the dynamic of your team. I was surprised by the pick because I wasn't expecting it. But in now today's age, you almost, if you're in that position and you can get a high caliber quarterback, you almost have to take him. So the Falcons go from, hey, if Kirk falls off or another injury happens, we're not in trouble. We have Michael Penix here. We reset our QB right now, then and there. And we all don't know the full language.
Maybe they call up the Raiders and they say, hey, you wanted him. You want to trade for him? Like,
Yeah.
we'll take some assets if you want to trade for him. Quarterback C.J. Stroud, what is your thoughts? I know I was ranting. You actually know what you're talking about, so I'd love to hear what you
I love every point that you guys made. I think Micah's comparison to Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, that was almost spot on, because you look at next year, is there a quarterback for Atlanta to go get to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like to go be the franchise guy, and they maybe thought Penix was that dude. And for me, I think Penix is somebody who is older already, so that's the one thing that kind of surprises me.
Right, 24 years old.
Right, so like by the time, if he waits behind Kirk, he'll be 27.
27 years old.
You know, so like I don't really understand why they would take him. I think Penix deserved to go in the first. And, you know, I would have loved to see him even go to Denver or somewhere, you know, but I want to see him play because he's 24, you know, like I don't really want to see him sit. I mean, I feel like Micah said earlier, for some guys, yeah, you need to be able to sit and learn. But when you've had that much experience, I think
he was the NFL ready guy.
Right. Yeah. I think the confidence that you have from the experience is why you are you know, in this predicament, because you're old already and you played so many games. So I don't necessarily agree with the pick. I don't think it's a bad idea because, hey, if Penix, God forbid, something happens to Kirk or like, you know what I'm saying, like, and he goes and plays hero ball and everybody's gonna be, oh man, the Falcons knew all along. So like, if he turns great, he's the hero.
This was the Eagles' strategy for years.
He's a zero.
The quarterback factory, stock up on him. But how do you process this?
Yeah, so Kirk Cousins, for some context, they can't cut him until 3 years from now. So he will be there the next 2 years, no matter what. And the thing is, though, when you have Kirk Cousins, you're not drafting top 10, or you're not supposed to be drafting top 10. And if you are drafting top 10, then chances are you do need that quarterback. Chances are you do need Michael Penix to step in because it means Kirk isn't playing well enough. So I think that's the logic behind it, is that they're not going to be in this position again, or don't want to be until it's time to actually move on from Kirk. And then at that point, there's no learning curve, rookie quarterback, let's see how he works out. It's no, we have a guy who's been seasoning in our system for 3 years. He knows exactly what to do, and there's no gap in that sort of rebuild that you have to do usually for a quarterback. So it's the Packers model. I can't say I hate it because they've done it 3 times now and it's worked every time.
Right. I'll say this. Kirk started his career drafted the same year as RG3. Never felt like it was his team. They never committed to him. They kept giving him the franchise tag. Goes to Minnesota, has some success. They don't want to commit to him long term. He goes to Atlanta because that's where he wants to win. I looked at this Atlanta offense. They're jacked. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, we had them on earlier. I thought they were going to try and make a run at this. The NFC South is that division where you can make a run. Carolina's a little bit down. The Saints are trying to figure out their cap situation. The Bucks are a team that I think they made the playoffs, but like we don't see them as a perennial playoff team.
Right.
And now, even in a team that he thought wanted him, he is not only wanted. So I think it's very interesting.